All right, a question for you tonight. Any cigar smokers in the group? Show of hands. All right, here's why I ask. I love a good cigar. I buy my cigars at a great place called The Market on Wilmington. I've been going in there for years. Got to know the two guys who run the place, Larry, Russ. Always have a nice time with them, chatting about all kinds of things. Russ always likes to engage me in conversation about broadcasting and about politics mostly, but we just, have a good time chit-chatting. And finally, after going in there for several years, Larry one day pipes up, he goes, I used to be in broadcasting. I'm like, really? Did he ever? Our first honoree this year is a man who has really made his mark in the Dayton community in all facets of the business, entertainment, voiceover talent, show host, and one of the first board members of the Dayton Area Broadcasters Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, my friend, Larry Bailey.
Larry began his broadcasting career 34 years ago working on WHIO television. It was on Summertime, a local show featuring acts from around the Miami Valley, and it starred Broadcasting Hall of Famer Gil Whitney. Larry and Gary Mouse co-produced the show, making it one of the most popular local entertainment shows around. It was Larry and Gary who came up with the concept of including seniors and disadvantaged youth as part of the show's studio audience. In 1970, the show's name was changed to The Gil Whitney Show, and Larry continued to be part of it. In 1983, that was the beginning of Summer Nights, and Larry Bailey became the host and producer of the show along with Gary Mouse. On that show, Larry was pleased to introduce wheelchair-bound Johnny Wilder, the former lead singer of Heatwave. Johnny told of his remarkable story of overcoming all odds and performing again after a horrific auto accident. Larry, through Summer Nights, was able to highlight many upcoming musicians in the Dayton area. That same year, Larry competed on the national television show Star Search, hosted by Ed McMahon, as well as making a guest appearance on As the World Turns. Later in years, Larry, with several other former media and advertising people, started a business venture known as Joint Venture. It was Joint Venture that became the leading advertising firm for the Dayton Air Show between 1996 and 2006.
Larry would come in the morning, and he was always so positive and happy. It was always so fun to see him in the morning, and he would come in with all these ideas. He was our idea man, and even bad ideas, but he would be so excited about them. Most of his ideas were good, but but we had so much fun with him, and it was a good working relationship.
Larry produced the music video section of the Air Show, syndicated and seen on WHIO television. Larry also produced themes and bumpers for News Center 7. Larry spent over 10 years working for the City of Dayton's government access station, hosting a show called Business News. That show featured and highlighted local businesses and their upcoming events. Larry also sat in for many hosts on the station when they were either sick or on vacation. Shows such as Talk City Hall, Cultural Scene, featuring many national stars performing for Kenley players at Memorial Hall. Larry did voice tracks for the station and was always available when needed. His biggest contribution, perhaps, was being one of the original board members of the Dayton Area Broadcasters Hall of Fame. Larry, with other board members, helped the organization get off the ground. He was bookkeeper and treasurer. He was also instrumental in putting together one of the first affairs of the Hall, a reception at Tomato's Restaurant, introducing the Hall of Fame to the media and to the community.
We were there next to the Victoria Theater. We had a lovely ballroom up on the second floor. We could seat probably about 250. He wasn't sure how many people might come to this event. The excitement was building. Lots of broadcasters would get involved at different points, but we ended up having about 150 people, I guess. And I imagine that still holds the record for how many people showed up at an event. And I'm sure the food was lovely. I don't remember much about it, but I remember the music. There was stuff from the 50s, from the 60s, from the 70s. And with the food, it was lots of hors d'oeuvres, I recall. It was a very upbeat event. It was, you get Larry involved and everything's kind of upbeat.
During Larry's career, he has taken home 8 Emmys for his television production of Summer Nights, with the show winning 23 regional Emmys. That's more than any other on-air host-producer in Dayton history. Larry Bailey is a man of all talents who's made his mark in the Dayton community as entertainer, advertiser, and broadcaster.
From Summer Nights to the air show and all the things in between, he had a real body of work there. He did a tremendous amount of things, and a lot of it was from his own ideas and how he developed things, and it was wonderful. He is really very deserving of this award.
The Dayton Area Broadcasters Hall of Fame is pleased to welcome him in the class of 2013.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Steve Diorio. Alongside of me is Kim Ferris, and we are members of the Dayton Broadcasters Hall of Fame.
And at this time, we would like to welcome our first inductee of the evening, Larry Bailey.
I don't know how I had time to do all that stuff. I got to tell you. I want to be very humble about this award because in 1977, when I moved back to Dayton from Connecticut, I was very fortunate to appear on Gil's show as a performer. But I was very fortunate to hook up with a man by the name of Stan Mouse. And Stan was instrumental in everything that I did in television. I remember back in the 77, 78, 79 period, he asked Gary and I to help him with ideas for Solid Gold, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, Entertainment Tonight, which is still on the air. And he started me out very well as far as teaching me the business. And I think that we all need to give credit where credit is due. And if there's one person in this industry that had the most profound effect on my life, it would be Stan Mouse. I also want to thank and be honored by the people who are all here tonight. I'm sitting with 4 over here, and I got 4 back here, and it is quite a humbling experience to have the kind of past and influence in a major television station in this town. And I just want to say thank you to all of you for watching, listening, and being there for me, and thanks again.